who was afraid to speak. Not because he didn't have the words to say, but nobody to listen to him. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished Toastmaster Cavaliers, have you ever yearned for somebody to listen to you? Raise of hands. And I would understand, because the boy who was afraid to speak was in fact me. But that all changed when I met somebody. It was the year 2021, freshly baked out of the quarantine. I was a shy, timid person. Seldom would I speak to my classmates, and all of my other friends were in other classes. When other classmates were talking to each other, bursting in laughter, I would be sitting by myself alone, writing things that I want to say in my diary. Stories that would never touch the hearts of another. Words that I would never be able to utter.
That would never
be able to be uttered. All of them trapped into the pages. Like catching butterflies with a net. Slowly, I felt like I was sinking into my own pages and I was crawling into my own shell. But that shell felt safe, so I stayed for the time being. Sometimes, I will feel alone even when I'm surrounded by lots of people. Even when I see across my class people nudging each other on the shoulder and having fun. It was just that they were having fun without me. So I felt alone and I felt sad. Slowly, I thought that talking to people, it just wasn't for me. Because for me, it was difficult. In my class, I was the one of people who spoke a lot of English. So people couldn't understand me. But even when I tried to speak Malay, it was like I was talking in another language. My voice was just not being heard. And this made me hate my classmates. I thought they were doing it on purpose, just to spite me. And it made my mind turn into a raging storm, destructive, spiteful, and too cloudy to see the light. I thought that they were doing it on purpose, alienizing me just for fun. At that moment, I just wanted to go home as soon as possible. I was running to the bus stop on the verge of bursting into tears. I didn't want to talk to anybody because I thought that nobody would want to listen to me anyways. So as I boarded my bus, I sat at the very back because I didn't want to talk to anybody. Suddenly, out of the blue, somebody familiar sits next to me. Hey, it's my classmate. His name is Umar. At the beginning, I didn't make much of it. So, we boarded the bus, and so on. When I arrived at his stop, he turned back and looked me in the eyes. He asked me, "Hey Ikhwan, do we have any homework?" And so I replied, "Yes, we do." And I told him what we had. Before he stepped out of the bus, he looked me in the eyes again, properly, and he said, "Thank you, Ikhwan. I'll see you tomorrow." That moment, even though it was just something that you might see as small, was something that made a huge impact to me. It felt nice. I said something, and somebody listened to me. It felt like something new that I had never felt before. The next day, Umar would come to the bus with me, and we would talk again. He would ask me what homework we had, and I would reply. The following days, we would start to talk about other things, like the things we like. For example, like YouTube videos or video games. As time progressed, I saw myself opening up to him. He was taking me out of my shell. And it got to the point where I was comfortable to come to his house and to play video games or just to talk to him. To me, he was somebody who lended an ear. And friends, that person, even though it might be something that is small, just as small as listening to somebody, it just gave me a fresh start to my life. Ever since Umar listened to me, I was able to muster up the courage to speak up, to talk to other people. I was able to talk to my classmates and to finally connect. It felt like there was somebody who was going to hear me. It felt like the stories that I could have never told, the words that I could have never uttered, were finally being received by somebody other than me. So what am I trying to tell you? Friends, we should all strive to be the person who listens to somebody, because you never know how much it might mean to that person. And for people like me, it gave me an entire fresh start. It gave me the courage to be able to speak and be where I am today. That is why today I strive to be somebody who listens to the people around me, who listens to my friends. Because I know that if I can help somebody, it's all worth it to be the person to lend an ear. Toastmaster.
Well done.